3, ready? Okay, it's almost 5:59, just about to turn 6 o'clock here, so we're going to go ahead and call to order the October 14th, 2025 meeting of the Clarksville County Council. First point here is the budget approval. Do we have any discussion from the board?
No, we looked at it last month, right? I don't have any changes or suggestions since last month.
I'll make a motion to approve the 2026 budget as presented.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the budget. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The budget passes. Yeah, I'm sorry. Now we can do the claims. Yeah. Now we're fine. Yeah. Okay, is there any discussion on the claims?
I'll make a motion to approve the changes presented.
It's moved and seconded to accept the claims. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, claims passed. Now we'll pass this. Okay. Now we have the minutes of the last meeting. All been sent out. Does anyone have any discussion on the minutes of the prior meeting?
Motion to approve. Second.
So moved and seconded to accept the September 19, 2025 meeting minutes. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Jeff, do you have anything for the superintendent's report?
I'd like to transfer. Mayor asked me about the quote for the survey. There are pieces of property uptown there, one north of the post office, and the 2 lots, I think 2 lots east of the post office. Anyway, I had to quote to do all those, just go and survey whether we do anything with them or not, you know, what's ours and what's not. That's 29 pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2,900.
For all 3, yeah, I clarified that.
We can hold off if you want to wait until after we talk about that, or that's why I wanted to. I mean, I think, honestly, we've had these parcels for a while. Just a few of them were given to us by the Lions Club. I mean, I think it would be smart for us when we're really mowing it and taking care of it. I think it'd be smart for us, no matter what we do, to have survey done so that we know where the property lines are, just for maintenance. We have some trees over there, that it becomes a question of whose trees are what, including our Christmas tree we got, you know, so, I mean, we can hold off and talk about it, but I think it's something that's kind of overdue, but I'd like to see us move forward with getting it surveyed. Less than $3,000, that's pretty good insurance to me to know whatever property is that we own and we can prove it.
I don't think it's crazy online on price, and I might have been almost over 1,000, so that's $3 they're doing right there. But we want to hold off on that. We'll have it out there.
Yeah, it's just an opinion.
Yeah.
Okay, and then The second thing I have is crack seal. Again, this year, the whole list is identical. We went down the two bids I do have, opted to get it cheaper. But I think we had a great job last year. I think it's a total of $32,500.
So, we have Community Crossings grant, which we're gonna have, we should make a decision by the end of the year. I think either next month or something, we can revisit it. But just, off the top of my head, I mean, I think with the match, the application, and the consultant fees, we would have come up with 100,000. We have 194,000 in streets and roads right now, and that would get us $300,000 worth of road. So that's what it needs to be. And that would be good until we actually got the grant. So yeah, we can think about it. So if we look at the crack seal, now you're looking at this 32,000. So now we're 132,000 into it. Obviously, what we don't want to do is get to the point where I want to have matches for land. So, you know, I guess open it up for discussion. You know, my thoughts were just like, crack seal 1 year, do nothing 1 year, just save, and then community crossings for it's like 30 year, kind of 33-year rotation for nothing, you know, kind of what I'm thinking. But I do know, I think everybody, you know, for the crack sealing we did, I feel like, I think we got quite a bit of bang for it out there. So,
We've got some pretty nice streets that work down that can really use it. One, I think, is yours, of course. There's a place in there that needs to be repaired. It's spent a lot of money on it. Jump so soon. No, it doesn't, that's how much you need to do. That's just trying to do this on the meeting.
I guess, so what I would ask is, what's the right thing on how much do we need to? We're going to put water main right now, tax road, let's cut some out of that, you know. We're down on Broad where we had the water leak and, you know, that came, that was probably always working, wasn't it? So, you know, I just don't want to put us, where's the best thing for us, crack sealing or saving that money for community crossings? I mean, we can do both. So we looked at our budget, we bring in about $1,000 a month from the state, University Road, and streets. So it's going to take us a little while to recoup. You know? But I'm going to tell you, $300, so all over Main Street, correct me if I'm wrong, Jeff, from 3 all the way down to the cemetery, down to Prince Church, that was about 100,000.
No.
So that was about 100,000. I think that's about what we had, so we didn't do much more than that. So we're going to get 3 tons after the match fee 60,000, the application fee 15,000, and I think the consulting fee is 25,000. So, and then we get $300 for it. So I think we probably need to, we don't have to make a decision on the community crossings right now. Even if we went into next year, as I understood from talking with the consultant firm, there was going to be 2 openings, one in the spring and one in the fall. So, open it up.
So, we did crack seal last year, right? So, I mean, kind of based on what you were saying, I mean, this would have been the layoff year. And then next year, like, I'm on board with that. I think the crack seal was worth it. I think it was good that we did that. I think we should continue to do that. But I don't have a problem with us if we want to pull the money back and use it, put it all towards, or as much, not all of it, but have it available for community crossings.
Well, after the community crossing things, whatever, we ask them still available, and we can go on like a as-needed basis. We'll have, I'm sure Jeff, you have like a short list of what you think is immediate. We can go and
So the other thing with the match, they've changed now, our match is only 20%. The big thing is the consulting fee, the application fee is $15,000 regardless. the consultancy, I think we've all talked about it, and I felt like maybe it was a little bit high. What I liked about it was they were 100%. Their record was 100% of getting that grant. So essentially, what we're doing is paying $25,000 to get $300,000 worth of road.
So, do they tell us the ones that we should do? Is that?
They do. They'll come in, they will assess our roads. We don't have input. They will come in and tell us. I think they call it something, I can't remember. Patient rating. And they'll do a patient rating, and they'll tell us this is what you gotta do, this is what you gotta do. And then we would turn that bid over to the company and say, these roads have to be, that's what you're saying, we have $300,000 to spend. But we will, that's right, we have, so 60%, $300,000 to spend, and so then they would say we get all the way, because they'll rate all of our roads. And that is, we obviously can't pay downtown. And then there's some other options with, they've changed a little bit, like you could do complete sealing of the road, not just crack seal. There's crack seal, you can pave, and then you can just seal the road. And so, I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, we did well with 5 community crossings before. I mean, that's how we were able to get as much paved as what we did, and the first guy who did our patient rating, it was a little sketchy, and I think there was some handful that did your things, and this group seems pretty professional. So, yeah, I mean, I'm supportive of putting our eggs in the basket, go towards community crossings.
Yeah.
So do you want to hold up on crack sealing then?
I would, that would be my suggestion. In fact, I'd rather, if we can leverage that towards paving, and we can always, if you want to do both, maybe we figure out what makes sense. Maybe there's some money left over to crack seal next year or the other. Yeah. We don't have to spend it all on.
No, I agree.
But if we have it, if you're going to have it available and turn it into that match money, then not have it.
It's probably a little conservative, but I don't want to. I feel like we've managed that money pretty well. I don't want to go. What we estimated with all of our new roads that have fairly new cracks, and everything that I've got a really good strength for public transportation and east where my cracks. Your roads will have twice as long as cracks in the first 3 or 4 years. We have some roads that aren't 3 or 4 years old, but the ones that we look at, so if they're not, I don't think we're in that bad shape. It's not nearly as bad shape as Broad was. All that cracks in there. That's made Broad a lot better, in my opinion. But I feel like we could hold off another year. I think on the cracks. But now, what that's going to do now that the community crossings won't be till next year. So we'll do nothing this year. Let that money go a little bit. We come with about 100,000. It's going to leave us another 100,000 going into 27. And then that'll give a year, almost probably a year of the new road we laid. Because they crack, those initial cracks, those are the ones you gotta knock out. So in 27, then go into crack stage. Is everybody feel good about that?
No, I do. I say that time. I'm okay with being a little too conservative on that and, keep our powder dry.
All right. So then, how about next month we review community crossings, relay information back, and make a decision on this move forward? You guys feel good about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Vote for 2. All right, listen to my booster. Yeah, that's my first. My booster station up there, it's down 1 pump. They did that inspection, you guys approved it a few months ago. Really, the only thing is it's just wear and tear on the pump and impellers. And they quoted changing the dehumidifier and changing the base impellers and seal kits and all that stuff. And I'm still trying to get a price on replacing motors, pumps, and all, instead of just doing that, because motors got a lot out of it. It's like almost $8,000 just to get the impellers, and I'm inquired about why so much. And to get the original impellers is $3,000 a piece, and then they have to be trimmed. And these are brass ones that have to be trimmed. They were just under $2,000 each. So So we can just crazy price.
So you don't have a phone for you, you're still waiting on
I have a friend of mine replacing the parts, but I would like to get approved this amount for this in case it's $15,000.
So what would be safe now?
So if you could just do that amount right there, 79, 69, 15.
Up to 8,000.
Or up to 8,000, whatever.
I'll make a motion to approve up to $8,000 for repair of the, or is it the water?
The booster station, repairs, basically.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to appropriate up to $8,000 for the booster station. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. All those opposed? Motion passes.
It's pretty well, no, I'm good.
Yeah, that's all we got. Okay. So, for the clerk treasurer report, you have anything?
Next year on the docket is Jerry Cash with Affordable Housing Solutions of Henry County. So I think based on what Darren said, you have some information to.
I'm here with Jeff Ray. We're with a group that formed a new not-for-profit at the end of last year called Affordable Housing Solutions of Henry County. There was a housing summit done in May of last year for the county, and we came out of that with information that said there's a 1,500 unit shortage of affordable housing in our county. And so our group is setting out to try to address that shortage. We're looking to acquire properties as affordable as
Go on. Would you tell everybody what your job was before, and then also about the housing, how long the housing committee's been around? Because I just want to make sure everybody understands.
Well, before I retired, I was executive director of the Newcastle Housing Program, which ran public housing and Section 8 housing programs. The housing committee has been around 16 years or so. Oh, us, no, we've been around.
Well, no, I know, I just wanted this group to know you guys have been doing this for.
Yeah, we served on a committee that was like local CAP and city council members and public members, and housing authority, and we were the group that oversaw the blight elimination program that tore down 60 houses in the county, mostly in Newcastle, through the blight elimination program. Sorry? What? One here, yes, one house here, in this town, and I think that became a habitat house.
Yeah.
So we've had an interest in housing and finding a way to provide affordable housing for quite some time. We finally decided we need to get off our butts and do something about it, so we formed this group. We're not for profit. We're not planning to make any money in this process. We're just trying not to lose any money. We're getting lots. The RDC, Henry County RDC gave us a lot in Middletown. We're in the process of building a house there now. It's, let me say, 50% done. 40. Okay. So we were getting lots to the land bank in Newcastle. We've gotten 5 lots there. We get them for $1. We talked to Louisville about potential doing some housing there. We're here to talk to you about doing some housing in Spiceland. At least 3, maybe 5, depending on what we can do with lots. The reason we're trying to get some inexpensive lots is obvious, and we're trying to keep this cost as low as we can because we're dealing with families that are 80% of the AMI. So they're not going to have a lot of extra money to pay a mortgage. We're also looking at ways to help them with their mortgage costs. And you want to explain that, that than I am. But our goal is, I said, to build some housing that families can buy, and they'll have to stay in the housing for 5 years if they buy it.
Yeah, so the houses we're trying to build, price-wise, are between $175,000 and $225,000. So 80% AMI, which is the average median income, is for Henry County this year is roughly $65,000. 30% of that goes towards your mortgage, your
insurance, your taxes, your utilities. So it's not a lot of money, and so we're trying to stay closer to the 175 in building a house, which is very hard to do in today's market. And that's why we're asking about this lot over here. That's why Joe Peacock is planning to give us the lot in East Maine. That lot is 66 feet wide. At this point, we're planning to put 2 homes there and one right over here. So we could have 3. We have a builder that's building the house in Middletown, and that house is going to be 225 and almost 1,800 square feet. Most of what we're trying to do is 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,500 square feet. But we decided, okay, let's go to the upper range and see what that does, because that's really going to be a push for that family for $65,000 roughly total yearly income. So, in that case, with it being 80% AMI, then we're going to be able, that opens ourselves up to being able to get some grants to buy down the price of that home for this family. When they qualify, they're going to have a mortgage. They're going to go with the local lender or their lender. They're going to have to go through financial education and understand the whole process. There's a lot of these people and families are going to be first-time home buyers. So we have to go through that to help qualify them for 80% AMI being in that program. So, like Jerry said, we're building one in Middletown, and we've got a foundation ready in Newcastle, Columbus Street, about where the Rotary Diamonds are, just west of there, just off of Main Street. So we're looking to do something here. We have started a little bit of discussion in Louisville, like the Bill 5 there. We were at the Solid Waste Management District meeting this evening, asking for some cost reduction for tap fees for sewer, and they're going to consider that. And so we're slicing it. I know you all received our information already. Last meeting, or last meeting. So Darren asked us to come and kind of introduce ourselves and see what kind of questions you might have.
So you, this KEC lot that you've been talking about down here, you said 60-some feet wide. So do you have renderings of these houses that you're?
Yeah, so we're working on finalizing this, but it's going to be 20 by 32, but 2-story, so that's 1,440 square feet, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. And so this is my only copy. This is what we're looking at doing in Spiceland. The house that we're doing that's in Middletown is 32 by 58. And so that's just under 1,800 square feet. It's not going to have a garage. It's going to have a concrete drive and a sidewalk up to the house. And it's got a small front porch that's set into the house. It kind of takes away from that complete box of 32 by 58. It's going to be a nice home. The homes are going to be 6-inch walls and fully insulated and high insulation and cooling and heat pump, so it'll be full electric home. And so we're trying to get those utility costs down for those families. The builder builds a tight home, and we've been up to Harper City to see what kind of quality it does. So solid surface countertops. It is a surround plastic cabinets or medium grade cabinets. Appliances will be putting in, so they'll be medium grade. They won't be high grade. They won't be low grade. Medium. Vinyl flooring, plank flooring in the whole house, and so it's
talk to me a little bit about the exterior too.
Yeah, and the exterior is not gonna be vinyl siding, it's gonna be LP screen siding, so that's a solid surface, it's got wood grain, it's gonna be painted, after we get everything up and all that siding put on, so that is an upgrade in siding. We would normally put the garage on and also vinyl siding, and we try to keep the price down, taking away the garage, but also trying to make that siding a better product that's gonna last longer.
Sure. So before you start building, do you have people already like on the list in mind for these houses, or is it approved?
We have talked to, like, the first Merchants Bank has told us they have pre-approved payments, but we have not talked to them specifically about that.
Yeah, and we don't know what income levels those people are. We just know they begin, at this time, they've got like 13 families that have been pre-approved, but they're not gonna tell us what income levels they are or anything like that, but we're not gonna try to qualify people because they're gonna have to go through the education and also go through the process. And so, the other thing we have that helps with the down payment and just the closing cost is that we talked with Intent Indiana, and they are a land bank and a developed building site. They're building homes in South Bend right now. In Muncie, they built some homes in Shelbyville, of course, Indianapolis, and they built quite a few homes in Indianapolis, and they have a second mortgage program that if the family doesn't have 20%, then they loan the 20% and to either 0 or 2%, and then that brings down the mortgage balance that they need to borrow down to 80%, so that's the higher interest rate, and their overall payment of the two payments are less than it would be if they just had like a 90% loan for sale and two mortgage.
That's after construction.
It's after construction.
So who covers the construction costs?
We do. We have funding already set up. So we're funding the whole construction of the home and getting it complete. And then we'll put a sign up saying for sale, and probably we put a sign up that has affordable housing solution. I don't think I got a copy of the sign, but I got one in my truck. But it says affordable housing solutions in Henry County. And we've got a Facebook page, and we have a website also. So if you want to look up affordable housing solutions in Henry County, you're going to be seeing the photos of the foundation that's already ready in Newcastle, as well as the house that's being built.
Do you bid out the construction, or do you have a company who already
We're set up with a builder already because we tried looking around here locally, and there's just nobody that's going to build a $75,000 home. And they're not going to build a $225,000.
Where's the program?
The builder's from Adams County. He's done a lot of work in that area as well as Muncie. He's done a lot of work for the subsidized housing, the county housing authorities, like Jerry. He would have done construction of subsidized apartments. He would have built a lot of these.
What is that company?
Four Star Construction.
Four-Star Construction out of Adams County?
Yes. And so it's four brothers and their families. So he's done a lot of work in Hartford City with a friend of mine for a number of years. He's renovated houses, he's built new homes up there. So he's built these three homes in Hartford City. Basically the same 3-bedroom, 2-bath, around that 1,700 square foot home. And he normally does vinyl siding on those, but we wanted something better.
And it does, how long is it taking from construction, completion to the sale? How long is that house sitting before?
We're probably talking about 5 months. Somewhere in that range, because you know how long it takes to build a house anyway, it's at least 4 months.
Yeah, the financing can go to the issue.
Right. And so, he's currently got a house for sale because he works with a friend of mine that they kind of work together. John can get the lots and urban, and so they've got a good relationship, and they've been in business on a while. Maybe it's just a young adult.
So obviously you're covering all the costs, so I guess right now you're working on Middletown, you got one going in Newcastle. My question is, obviously, it's not till you sell one can you then put that money back in, but I guess how many of these can you juggle at one time? I mean,
Right, so we have enough funding to do 5 homes.
and then you have to wait until you sell a home to be able to fund that.
We're also applying for a home grant through Indiana Housing and Community Development Agency to build a house in Newcastle to be a duplex. So that's separate.
It's a separate project, it's a separate, it's a home program that they have. They don't have any building going on in East Central Indiana, so they've been very supportive of us going through that application process. Because we've been working on it since February, and we're still not completely done with that.
You guys mentioned that they have to stay in the house 5 years. Is that through you guys' program, or what establishes that?
That is pretty much a standard HUD requirement when you're at 80% AMI or less, even at 65%. Braintree Habitat has that requirement also, so that people are not just going to sell it and walk away with it.
I know the first time home buyer that just got a new house have the same deal.
Yeah.
They have to stay.
So if we're in that 80% AMI, you just about have to have that requirement. Stability, you're trying to build wealth for this family, and we're not going to have the required. There is a program out there through Federal Home Loan Bank of Indianapolis now. It's probably all the Federal Home Loan Banks that they have a requirement for 15 years that they supply money towards that. The purchase of the home, they get grant money for that. They require 15 years. If it sells, it has to sell to another 80% AMI family, and then they can release that after 15 years.
But this one doesn't have to sell to Okay.
We hope so, but no.
So it's just, I mean, if you have to go to secure conventional, it's not pure conventional, but financing now with a private bank or what it is you're talking about going through financial process and things like that. Would these mortgages work the same as anybody else? I mean, if they don't pay this, it goes in foreclosure like that, any other house that would be in.
It's the same. You got to make your mortgage payment. You're still being qualified the same way. We're just talking with families who are 80% AMI. It's the same setup as if you made $200,000 and you bought a mortgage. It's still the same for us. So.
Well, I assume you guys have been out to these lots. What kind of setbacks are you guys from house to property line?
Street to property.
The street to property line and house to adjoining property line as well.
And the side setback?
Yeah.
This one here is 54 feet wide in the front, but it's wider in the back. It has a little bit of a jog to it. This lot over here that you have. We look and see what the neighborhood is, and if it's 20 feet, set back 20 feet. It's just kind of trying to stay within what the block is. The one right next to it, they're set back not that far. But you look across the street, you see there's 3 homes there, and they're probably 15 or 20 feet setback with the porch. But we're looking at, we would be at least 20 feet setback here because this is a deep lot, and we're looking to do a 20 by 36 house, so we got plenty of room for the backyard.
This doesn't have anything for driveway or anything, right? So it'd be all street parking for this house?
This one here,
Yeah.
it probably would be because there's a wall there. It goes up like this. It may at one time maybe had a wall there, but it goes up like this. But we weren't planning to do that here, but, that's a requirement in Newcastle, and I know you don't really have any requirements requirement set up right now, so.
We just got the driveway in Middletown and sidewalk.
Yeah, over there we did that. The lot out here that Peacock is looking to, donate to us, that would be set back like the two homes that are either side of it, so you're probably, and there's a sidewalk still there, and there's a sidewalk back to where the house used to be, and of course, the driveway's already there. So one side of that house would already have a driveway, and the neighbors and the kids use that route now.
So he's agreed to donate that lot?
Yes.
That's good.
So it makes it.
So the lots that we have, and we got that one out there, we're across the Union Park, I think it's a great place. We got this lot here that we own, and we got two lots on South Pearl that we don't own.
Right.
But one of the lots, Jeff, we paid to tear down. Did we get reimbursed for that? I didn't see that in there, but I don't know.
I can't remember how that, I thought that it was a lien on it. I mean, if we probably have to take a look at that, so I don't know, yeah, I don't know how that worked. I don't know, but I thought we put a lien on it.
That's along the east side of the street.
Yes, that's the one before that. We basically,
So, yeah, I'm touching on what Jack, the only pause I have on this lot is the size of the lot, and also, so since we talked about this, I watched, I can't say I really paid much attention to that lot very long, very much prior to this discussion, but, so I've been looking, so, I think it would have to be street parking, and so I watched it. A lot of people pull there and park for their mail. There's a lot of people in that post office right there for their mail. And the mail truck every morning parks there. I mean, that's not theirs, I mean, I understand that, but it does cause congestion there. And if there's two cars, people living at home, they're parking at the regular time, it's causing more congestion.
Well, we know that there's not street parking, there is street parking on the other side for that, what used to be the flower shop.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the former filling station, that elderly couple. It doesn't look like they have, a driveway there.
I'm just sharing that's my policy with that lot. I feel very comfortable out across from the new apartments.
so with the size of that lot though, I mean, to me, you have the hill, but that's not to say you couldn't, I mean, if that's an issue, do you think that there would be room there to put the house that you're thinking of and put the driveway off to one side?
It wouldn't be a problem, because the driveway is only gonna have to be 15 feet wide, and the lot's 54, and the house is 20, and there's two retaining walls there on each side of that.
Think about the house we started in Newcastle, which is funny because, I mean, it's 1,500 square feet, and it literally had, one side was a driveway that went from the property line to the house, and the other side was about 2 strips of the push mower, was all of the, and that's the house we had. And it was, I mean, it was a nice, old, like, Victorian type house that, it was very similar to these sides that, when we started off.
So I didn't answer your question about side setbacks, you know, but out there with the two homes, it's gonna be 6 on, like, the east side, 13 between, and then, 6, somewhere in that range, because the driveway's already there, so that's the 66, and you got the 20 feet, and that's 40, so it leaves you 26, and so 13 between, and then you've got the other, the outside of the lot to deal with there, to bring you down to the rest of that. Of course, the huge backyard.
You also talked about with these, since there's no garage, providing an outbuilding so that there would be a place for storage.
So we're committed to an 8x8 storage with a hack upstairs, kind of an attic to that. That's 4 feet by, whatever that is, so they can have at least some storage up there. But that's gonna be close to $3,000.
You have talking trade.
That's crazy.
I know it is.
So, what'd you say?
I said, we're talking trades program.
Yeah, the building trades at the career center, they're, either building trades or there's a kind of maintenance group of kids. Between those two groups, they're gonna build our storage buildings.
Trey, I have something out for that now too, the burger. I know they built something for the baseball field this year.
The material, you can just, you can
Yeah, that's what we're doing with the trade program. Materials and what is the biggest
Yeah,
contract.
that's good.
Yeah.
No business zone.
yeah, but
I mean, it would have been, I think, for the tax is probably really deeper than what they even need.
Just between, put between the two.
You know, I mean, it's,
Just,
go ahead.
I'm just gonna show you, this is where we're at on the building, those and so forth.
But if you were looking at side setbacks in Newcastle, there are 5 or 6 feet on side setbacks, so we're staying in line.
I mean, to your point, I mean, our code was our code was written as the county code was not for the types of lots that we, city lots. It was written for subdivision.
I think because that changed anyway, didn't it?
Yeah, we lowered the size on everything. Yeah, just, I mean, it's pretty tight, but I mean, it's not something that's out of, I think, ridiculous just because it's older lots tended to be smaller town lots.
How many streets do you think you're taking out
Right here.
on the north lot, north of the post office?
It's another.
The trees are right at the dog, it's at the, northeast corner of the post office, which is, it appears it's on, you guys will do the survey, but it appears that they're real close to the property line. One of them's a tree of heaven, the other one's, walnut, and it'll probably have to be taken down. It's just, they're right up against that retaining wall, and the life of those things is not gonna be much longer, I have to say.
Just in terms of future branch breaking off. They're not in the building area, but branches falling over on the house.
that's where
Yeah.
So are you guys looking at any other lots besides this, like, this is down, have you guys taken a look at those other two, South Pearl Street or anything?
Jerry has.
You know, only to know that they're there and to be aware of them.
We haven't been down there and really walked them or anything like that, but, whatever we can, you know, whatever we can find that,
I don't know if your question was, I mean, if those were to come available, would those be suitable to your needs?
So we think they'll,
I would think so.
they're similar to what we're building on in Newcastle.
Do we have the size of those lots?
They're huge lots, they're some of the bigger lots.
Yeah, they're width-wise, well, they're,
But they're wider than what you're building on, KBC.
oh, really?
Yeah.
they're nice. They're big homes on the lot.
Give the width, yeah.
They're both, of course, long, especially that one on the west side, but they're both about half an acre.
The Beacon has, is that from Beacon?
Yeah, the parsing reports will tell you what the lot was. Yeah, they would be suitable, for sure.
Well, what you guys are doing, obviously you're trying to drive down costs as much as possible, so you're looking for opportunities to maximize the money you've got, so you're looking for lots that are
Yeah, because we're not, like Jerry said, we're not trying to make any money, we just have one real estate money. And we're trying to bring the price down, like I said.
And all the municipalities that have these are taking away on our charges out there in the year.
So I was here for some office, as a drop off.
If somebody set it up,
It's a lot longer.
You know, those lots are side by side, or
they're gonna have a cross street, and we're gonna try to,
So, a separate question that we were touching on a little bit too is, I mean, they went to the solid waste district to discuss tap fees. I assume you probably would like to talk to us about, regardless of, I mean, this lot's kind of that's a question, but you are looking to move forward with the Joe Peacock lots. So I assume I don't want to ask us.
we would hope you would consider that, yeah.
So I don't remember exactly what the ordinance is for new water and electric hookups with the minimums and.
As far as water goes, there'd be something to be considered, but there's no water main there.
We're over across from Peacock's?
Yes.
So how are those houses served on either side of it?
There's like a 3/4 inch surge, so it goes out there and feeds up 3 houses already.
Well, something we probably need to look at. So, there's a house on the other side of Peacock.
No, I think that, so I think you just, take that for here. Katie told me, down the average.
and come back, so you have the church. The church is more of a building.
City water.
Yeah, that's a lot they're talking about, the house, it's, agreed to the right, right here. So we're up that house, it's up to that's the house, the other side. Yeah, and that's, and there's the one in the corner, and there's a farm. I mean, I do, I mean, the church is. Yeah. I think so. Picture back there, the last one living in the Oregon, Florida. I think they're.
Okay, okay, I'm sorry, I thought you were talking about lots.
No, yeah, that was, that was. You thought we were talking about the one with that.
Yeah, that was over there.
Okay.
Yeah, he tore down the house there.
Yeah, Peacock. Yeah, no, they're talking about the lawn.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Okay.
That's got a name, right?
Yeah, just say.
You don't know.
Since we started this a year ago, we rotate.
That's why I was like, you. They had a house here, and had a way to drive. Not right here. So water would not be an issue out.
What do we need to eat? Right, before you start that.
Is this how I can, what do you want to take a vote? Section on it, or what are we?
How soon will you be ready to move it on the Peacock?
We are trying to get, we got a meeting with the builder, yeah, as soon as we knew what we were going to be able to do, we were gonna have a discussion with the builder. He's still gotta finish Middletown, but, you know, we can be starting with the slab foundation out there, because that's.
Yes, Cruz.
Yeah, he's got his brother, and so they potentially come out there. We're looking next month at the earliest. It's probably December, because, you know, we know what, we've had initial discussions with him about this house here, that plan, and what that cost would be. And so we're finalizing that already, Oh, mine, I hate to see him.
Oh, yeah.
He's built that one here, he's over, so
Right, if it's there. Fine.
we would hope it would be sometime next month. And of course, we still gotta get the lots to Joe. So, I tried texting him last week, and he must be busy or
Just
something.
try to get started.
We're trying.
Process, sure. What do we, I'm here, I'll say this, I have some flaws with this lot. I don't have any flaws with the other one on Pearl. I definitely don't have any flaws out here. Right? We have some flaws with this lot. I don't want the whole investment house. You guys see for yourselves. I'm not a no, I'm just, I have some flaws. And I would feel better if I see a finished product out here before I made a decision. That's where I'm at right now.
Well, I can assure you with the plan that I showed you, he's got the house being like this house right over here, the front, the width, the depth of the house, the longest part of the house is the front. No, the 20 feet is gonna be to the front, and the depth is 36. Yeah, okay. So, we know that's what's gonna happen out there, the same thing we wanted to do right here, or wherever else.
Your issue is parking.
My issue is parking, just congestion there. That's my biggest, and then also, all this up in here, it's town property. So when we choose to give that up, we no longer control what that property is going to look like when somebody else buys it. If they buy that, and I didn't realize it went back as far as it did. But if somebody gets that and they don't take care of it, it's a reflection on kind of the town property.
We have several properties already that we deal with, looking with that in town, and I agree with you, Scott, that there is something to be said about control, the town owning that kind of L shape around here in the center of town, because we can control what it looks like. The second that's owned by someone else, we can control what they put in their backyard, or
Here's my thing though, what good does it do in the town if it's not? I mean, if we put a house on it, so, I understand the only way you're ever gonna control what's there is if we just never do anything with it, we just keep it as a grass lot. If we wanna make it a park, then that's what we do, is we make it a park. But if we ever sell it, someone's gonna have control over what's done. Here's the opportunity where you can actually have a say in, what the structure looks like. We can even, if we don't want that lot to be back as far, maybe we can change what that lot is. And to me, having a house there, I understand the concern on the parking, but, I think that's something maybe we could look at and try to figure out, at least to get, maybe put a driveway or something in to get off-street parking. But it's kind of unfair, that's just to dictate, because other people park there to get their mail. So if we say, somebody wants to come in and put a business in on the other lots, we say, well, we'd love to have a business downtown, but everybody likes to park here to get their mail. That's
I think that would be natural though, in this corridor of the street.
Right.
That would be natural to have, parking on that lot right there. So I don't know,
So if you were going to put a driveway on this lot, where would it go? Would
Well,
it be on?
logically, his concern, it would go to the north, next to the garage house.
But of course, you don't require driveways in the rest of the town. But I hear.
No, I know.
With you surveying right now, you don't have to give us that whole line. When you're having a survey, survey only so far back would be like 60 feet, and not the full 100 and something that you have there. We're having the same thing happening with that house, the duplex that Jerry's talking about. The city of Newcastle is giving us that lot, and they want to retain, it's 130 feet deep, and they want to retain 40 feet of that, so we get 90 feet. So they're surveying, and they're going to break, break that off and give us the 90 feet, and they keep the 40 feet with that. Happens to have a garage on it right now. So, choosers sometimes can't be too choosy, right? So, yeah, Becker's right.
Johnny, you have some comments on the golf?
Well, if you cut that lot in half, isn't that gonna landlock the back half?
Well, it would be part of, it would go in front of this front parcel, we had combined parcels here.
Oh, this right?
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
But under that, if that lot wasn't there, then it would be landlocked.
Right.
Okay, all right.
You're right, yeah.
So I just wanna think about, like, I know Spiceland's been the same for a long time, but if you give away those lots that are downtown, that's like no growth downtown for Spiceland at all. So you're basically saying it's gonna never grow. You're not gonna like try to get a grant to have someone come in and build a building there that could be a business for Spiceland downtown, or a restaurant, or anything else. So you're giving those lots away to be housing. So your downtown Spiceland is no longer. The only other way they could do it is, I guess, in the future, I'm talking about in the future, is if you wanted Spiceland to grow within Spiceland, you would probably have to allow the houses on Main Street to be businesses, the houses themselves. That would be the only way that you could grow, because you're giving the land in any future building in downtown Spiceland.
So we're only considering the lot that's on the north side of the post office, so these lots that are on Main Street won't really be on the same.
You consider, yeah. If you want
So,
this, we're just talking, I don't know if you can see this, I'll give you this map if you want to, but we're just kind of discussing just on the north side of the.
it's already next to
Right, the
a house, yeah.
Correct, yeah, not like where this Christmas tree
So
is.
there used to be a house there.
And,
There used to be a restaurant there too.
You two-story house.
When I was a little girl, there was a restaurant there.
Wow.
Mary Michaels lived there.
Wow.
You know, I don't understand why they just don't cut the ground off.
Yeah.
Take the walls out and just cut the ground off, come in there with the flat, 2 feet, because you're gonna put your pipes and everything in it, like, and then there's that, you want it.
Is that all on that property?
Yes.
Well, again, that's something we.
Yeah, there's no,
Yeah,
I mean, survey was finalized.
There's walls.
There's 2 walls, there's one on either side.
Yeah. I mean, how you move forward with out here, then, everybody can check. Well, I don't know that there's really anything for us to discuss on this one out here, except for, whether or not we want to help them out with water and electric. And
What is this that cost you,
It was $850 or cost.
or cost?
Yeah, the water over there, you guys walk that at all?
We didn't look that close. We came back. We figured it was out the street.
what side is the power line on? Is it across the,
Well, I think it's on the side of that apartment buildings, I believe.
so they have to drop over?
Right.
So that's $850, so is that electric and water?
It's $850 each.
So if you're looking at $1,700 on each house? Or is that water electric on
Yeah.
$850, and then another house $850?
Yeah, that probably would cover it.
So you're looking at $3,400 total. I mean, to me, it's a no-brainer, because, just tax roll. I mean, in fact, we have about 3 houses for sale in Spice, and that's it. Some housing. I'm always, I think all the time. I don't go back there.
What do you want to make motion, Scott, that we approve up to?
I'll make a motion to approve up to $2,000 for each house, for the electric and water. And like I said, it's $850 cost, so hopefully, and hopefully they understand the calls as well, right?
Is that before, is that?
It goes a long way.
You said 2,000 per house?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, he's talking 1,700. or.
You said up to.
Up to per house.
Yeah.
So, if it's a low cost, now, if it comes back, I mean, like I said, let's say they understand the cause as well. So, if they don't, we'll come back, you know.
So it's four call, so the idea is that for whatever reason it's gonna cost $2,500,
Yeah.
they would cover the rest.
Right. Yep. Okay, so it's been moved by Scott, seconded by Jody to approve up to $2,000 per house on the KDC or Peacock block. For electric and water. Okay. So all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay.
So we're, now we pass it, so we're essentially just writing that off. I mean, it's not a cost to us. I mean, there's a cost associated because there's equipment and time and things like that. But it's not like, I just want to make it clear, it's not like we're giving them any money or there's any sort of check or anything changing hands. It's just we're choosing not to spend or not to assess them a certain amount of money. And if there's anything above that, then it's their responsibility. Okay.
In regards to the Pearl Street lot, we would be interested in those, if they're not being offered in a price, we could.
Has there been discussion with it? I mean, because there's, no, to my knowledge, like, so those been for sale for a while.
I messaged with the one on the east side, and they're asking $20,000 for that. That's the one that we tore the house down. And I don't know if that's something we can find out, maybe Julie can help us look
That's
at.
the Russell development.
No, that's the other stuff.
Oh, the other one, okay.
And I got a phone number for that, you got that phone number, and I called, left a message, and then they tried to call me back, and I never got back on hold with them. But I haven't seen it for sale for a long time, so I don't know what they're asking for.
Just the news, I think, Carol.
Yeah, they voted today, I saw the item.
Yeah, pretty much, I think. I kind of think we might be on top of once or twice.
Now, that's what I thought we had.
Yeah, I just did.
Which one?
The one on the,
Yes, the one on the east side, the one we got, the big trees out front, that's the one that we tore, I thought we put a lien on, but maybe it was on the tax, maybe it was put on their taxes, and maybe they paid it back, I don't know. I mean, maybe that's something to ask Dawn next time too, because she might remember how that worked out, but we were supposed to get paid back somehow, wasn't it?
I know that, I do.
There should be a recruit somewhere, or maybe we did.
And I don't know Mullen as well. I didn't know, I think.
Get your phone numbers, I don't care.
So, I mean, going down that line, though, if that was something, I mean, they're not gonna be interested in necessarily buying those, or are we looking at, is there, talking about us investigating whether or not to buy those lots? And, or, I'm just asking, I know, because
I mean, I would be interested in the discussion. I mean, because otherwise, those lots are gonna sit empty for, I might buy tomorrow and build a house. I doubt it. I doubt it. There's just, next to St. Goodwood now.
Yeah, I'm with it.
So,
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion,
there's two lots there. I think that could be two lots.
yeah, it's long.
So, I don't know, check this, I was told that, somebody bought that with the intention of building something there. And then they realized that there's not utilities on the ground, so it would be ready just for hook up, you know what I mean, like, there's some utility issues there. And so that may be the landers discussion there as well. I don't know. Anybody know anything about what?
I don't know anything about more than one, but yeah, South Pearl one's definitely. I mean, in my opinion, depending on what we're looking at, I would be interested in having a conversation, because I would much rather see something built on any of those three than something.
I agree, right? I agree. I'm with you. But Darren, I would be interested, I mean, I think it'd be a good investment for the town to.
I mean, we do have some money in, so we have a state building fund, we have the riverboat fund, and we have rainy day, or all ones that we could potentially tap that aren't part of the general fund. But that, I mean, if we went down the road, I mean, not that we're ready to do that, that would require, I think, additional appropriations.
Yeah. I think it's definitely worth having that conversation about those other costs.
Just look at them on our utilities, the taxes coming in, yeah. But I feel comfortable with moving forward out here, that's a good start with some other options.
So how about we continue to look and think about this one, maybe they can go back and figure out what they think they might need, and we continue to kind of watch this and see what we think, and if this isn't an option, then maybe we look at other options.
And maybe if you guys, parking, you need to really, I kind of felt from the whole room that parking is an issue there. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's an issue for me.
Yes, I agree.
Maybe it's congested here. It really does.
Yeah, especially with all the golf carts.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Maybe we just have golf course up there, right? That's all I need.
That's right.
So with that too, I think then it makes sense to hold off on that, on the survey until we have, because it sounds like there may be consideration that if we did move forward, that maybe we would want to do the whole,
We want to pull apart a lot
take
back.
some of that that's come this way off of it. Okay. So we can hold off on that. I'm glad to know it's not that. It's not out there. Made a little progress.
Thank you very much. I don't need to forget this one. Appreciate that. Hey, you should have one copy.
Yeah, so,
I mean, then project on it, but,
yeah, so, with that, with it being LPC, it's a really nice siding on the inside. And a lot of this kind of housing that's being built now, that's what they use, because they don't want to get into vinyl siding and how it's being destroyed. You know, the door, hail,
Rocking them over.
yeah, right, all that stuff, so this stuff stands up for that. And it's painted.
Follow us on our Facebook page and our website, we're kind of keeping updated on what we're getting done there.
Well, we appreciate the time, guys.
yeah, thank you very much. Thanks for being here.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you. All right, we'll get out of here. Oh, my head, yeah.
All that's hard to do, is you just
It's already had a discussion on approval of the claims, so I have them out of order here. Just one little rogue in the beginning there. Is there any old business that the council needs to act on?
See, we got this on paper, do we want to talk about that?
Let's stop coming.
So I think we talked about, this is what we discussed last time, was that the signage is actually in the ordinance. The signs are executed, stop, so all the stop signs are listed in them. So I guess if you wanted to add a stop sign, we would just probably have to add an ordinance to add.
Is this the stop sign, forgive me, I'm forgetting, is there one, the second type of stop now?
Second one is top.
Second stop, here's the,
They're almost like this. They go down Harrison because. Yeah, they're like way down the road.
10 seconds quicker.
but there is one on Central, second is this four-way. Yeah, I think that's kind of a no-brainer, it's already a mad rush hour, I think it's kind of dangerous some days, even on those streets especially.
Well, you can't see very good either. That's either coming down second, you can't see her.
I go through there every day, it's like you're like,
Yeah, I think that's a no-brainer, so we just need to add it.
Yeah, I think maybe I don't know if you want to make it more of a motion or just a suggestion to have, Julie take a look at this and see what we need to do to to add an additional stuff if we want.
Do we have anyone make a motion for,
Get her started anyway. I'll make a motion to have Julie take a look at this and prepare an ordinance for our review for a stop at Harrison and Second Street.
I'll second.
it's been moved and seconded to approve Julie to get started on looking at, getting a stop sign there at Harrison and Second Street. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion passes. Okay, was there any other old business that you had? Okay. Was there any new business that the council? Okay.
I just was thinking about maybe putting one of those like food boxes, like a donation out here, because we put it in the yard somewhere here. I don't know. Seeing all over town.
Very much one.
So I haven't priced anything, but I just kind of thought of it. Not too maybe easier for me to be able to just put something here where people can drop off donations. Forget what they need.
So that's like one of those, like the little library things like Dan did, so it's just a box that you just drop off. Is there anything that, when you put like, obviously canned goods, stuff like that, is there any issues with a negative design? If I put like a box of macaroni in it, would there be squirrels getting into it or anything like that? I mean, I don't, you know what I'm saying?
Right, I know, yeah. I don't know if the food lasts very
Okay.
long in it anyway, because I think people,
You know,
I think they use them quite a bit.
I mean, right now, they currently set them at the post office inside and they're on with it.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah. Well, that's something I was thinking about, and I know there's one like the Elks and, you know, a couple different places.
That'd be nice.
maybe even up by the front door over here, so when people are coming and going, and bills that get dropped off or pick up.
I'm all for that.
Another thing you do is school.
Yeah, I'll talk to Mr. Berger.
Be all for that. Okay, do we have any other new business from the council?
So next month meeting is scheduled on Veterans Day. Is that concerned for, I'm on vacation then, so I would not be here. But if you guys want to move it back, I know that Donna said they moved the water.
What days you guys got off?
On Veterans Day.
And I was just we moved it, the town goes
So
slow.
it's going to go a week further to the 18th, November 18th. Is that- Our Christmas lights will definitely get it, I promise you.
Might not be that week.
Sounds like a threat, Jamie.
It's a promise. Oh, my Christmas trees are going up the day after Halloween. I've already ordered seeds, so.
Yeah,
That's fine.
I'm good with the 18th.
Do you need a motion or?
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to move the November meeting from Veterans Day, November 11th to Tuesday, November the 18th.
One second. Wait a second. Okay. So moving and seconded to, change the November 2025 meeting of the Spiceland Town Board from Veterans Day, November 11th to the following week, which would be November 18th. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, motion passes. Okay, there's no new business from the, no more new business from the council? Okay. Audience questions and comments. Scott, you gave us a, estimate here at the beginning.
Yeah, and that's just one of them, because we're gonna do something to eat over there. Because we had it on now. Right through. Having that other heater's ancient.
So this would be for both the old fire barn and the addition? Or this is for?
Yeah. There's that one above the bathroom, then the additional one for the one of the,
Or on the addition?
because we can't get a big enough one to put over here, because he that entire thing.
Yeah.
So we can get some more quotes, do some more checking.
Do we have multiple books or something?
I wouldn't think, I don't, for the maintenance, I don't think so. I mean, it's our building, right? I mean, it's no different than, I wouldn't think so. But, I mean, that's our prerogative, one of the issues.
I like this.
And what's the timeline on this, Scott, do you know? Yes,
I know he got some boilers and stuff, he got that in yet.
so, you know, this is more important.
And it might be a little bit cheaper now, 'cause we're going to do, we'll probably do, that works.
Okay.
What do you guys, so question on, in the general fund, other contracted services. So we budgeted 48,000, we still got 39,000 in there, we still got 80%. And then maybe we were thinking, I don't know, community crossing, or maybe that was for water wells or anything. Anybody remember why we had?
I do not remember.
And I'm just trying to think, I'm looking here, go down to general, appropriation report, down to the top, general other contractors.
Okay.
I was looking through when I was thinking about where we could pull if we did a survey. Because there's only, for building and structure, we've only got $1,000 left in there. We only budgeted 4,500. So I assume that our budget's probably similar next year. So if we only got 4,500 in there, then I'm not sure where we would pull this from as well. Saying, I'm wondering if we could pull this from other contracted services or not.
Yeah. Just reappropriate.
I don't even know if we have.
Do we have to do that?
No,
We don't
that's what I'm
have to do
saying,
that.
can we call this contracted services?
You can have a,
An outside third-party contractor do, we can put under that. I mean, I think it would fall under that when we get to, I mean, the end of the year here, it's such a surplus. I think that'd be a no-brainer to pull it out of that.
If you want to hold off or whatever, if you want. But that was just a thought I had. I noticed that we had a lot left in that fund, and we're almost at the end of the year, so I didn't, unless there was something else coming up, if we wanted to do this, that's one area maybe where we could pull from.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. Does anybody else have any thoughts on that? I mean, I think it makes perfect sense to do that. And I kind of, personally, I'd like to kind of get this rolling for you guys, because it's going to start getting cold here.
Yeah. You know what? We'll get it done before winter. Or maybe next month, so.
Yeah.
We need a motion?
Yep.
I'll make a motion to approve $5,680.72 for heating and cooling units for the fire station.
Okay, so moving and seconded to approve up to $5,680.72 for new heating and cooling units for the fire station. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay. Motion passes.
That was more money.
Every time you do it, he says now.
Well, I've got to tell you this part.
We got one more day, we'll have the rest of the metal out, and the rest of the insulation going in on the inside. Then we're gonna start on getting electric put in, which we're gonna do all that week. And
How the fire trips.
it's gotta go on the outside wall.
I have a question, have we had a decent rain since then? I think we did.
Yeah, that one, pretty good one. I mean, I went in there, there wasn't no water in there.
No water
It's not that rain, so.
Okay.
And I think, I wait till spring and see what happens.
So we have, the date and time for the hayride that we might put it in the paper with the.
And it starts at 8 o'clock.
It's all Halloween night, right?
Yeah, right. We try not to put it out in the public too much, or out in the county, because then we get everybody.
I know there was,
We try to keep it local.
Yeah.
for that, there's a sectional football game that night.
Yeah, I saw that.
I mean,
Not everybody plays football as much as football.
School
kids.
We can't help it that Halloween happens with fall on Friday this year, it's not like it happens every year. So
that's like every other, you know, mama takes one and daddy takes the other, right?
I guarantee you, we'll still have one of those kids here.
Yeah, we will.
They'll come from.
We're getting closer, hopefully, to getting this iron on that truck. It's been, it hasn't been for me, but it's been a mess for me guys. Somehow in the past, somebody didn't follow all the right paperwork. So they were showing her the lien against that truck, but it's been paid off for years. So they've got all the paperwork back from the bank and it's sending it off to B&B. Now we're waiting on that. And hopefully.
The B&B's so easy to work with, I'm surprised.
Oh, my. Then we'll, as soon as we get that, we'll go get some new tires put on the back of it. The guys said they'd probably, hopefully, be down next week to put the lettering on it.
Okay.
So, we'll cover that. And we just ordered, almost $6,000 worth of equipment to put on there. But we're covering that through the lift money.
Yeah. Good. Anything else, or is that all from the? Okay. Johnny, do you have some?
No, I got a whole bunch. Oh, yeah, let's do it. How much time we got? Yeah, I want to get you guys out of here. I got a little problem. I own the property at 310 and 312 East Broad Street. My house is in the back of the alley. I live in the alley, in the back alley. My fire hydrant is out in the front, in front of 308. But I can't keep her out of the alley. I keep coming, I come in here and she'll stay out for a couple of weeks, and then she's right back parking in there. I'm sure she ain't gonna get up at 3 o'clock in the morning if my house is on fire, you know, to move it. You either need to make it a fire lane and stay out, or tell me what you need, what can I do?
Okay.
That's a lot of things important.
A lot of athletes, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, my grandmother told me from my grandfather who used to run the post office, that was fire lane because of that fire hydrant out there. To get back to our house. That's when the other house was at 310 that was sitting out there, the foundation. But
Is that the elevators? The user's not about, what you talking about this, right here. So there's his property. So there's Fourth Street, Broad, it's kind of a different path. You see them, so it's we're not the well.
No, it's not paved.
you don't gravel it, you don't pave it. The only ones you pave is east and west, and you did the one down here on between 2nd and 3rd.
It's like that, I mean, it's kind of like that we were talking about over here on this part of town that we butted up against.
Kind of, yeah.
I don't worry, I don't want to bother anybody else as long as their neighbors and them are okay with them parking in their alleys, that's fine. I'm just trying to fix my fire line. So I know that that's always open and it's always clear and that you get there. Because they're gonna bring their hoses down the alley, they ain't gonna run across that cement and out in the yard and trying to get around there, They're gonna drive the start straight through there and put it out. That's all I need. And if I can get that, then I'm good.
So have you had any discussion?
Oh, I've had a ton. This has been, I've lived here for 70 years, sir. Sorry. And, it's been a constant with this one.
Okay.
She'll stay out. I've had David down there, David come down, and I tried to explain that, that's my fire lane.
It's the only way they can get back there to me with water.
So that's not a bad issue.
Yeah, that's gonna be a massive issue. We're gonna have to, I mean, we'll have to take a look at the ordinance and see, I mean, in my opinion, we'll have to see how it's worded, but I can't imagine that'd be any different than, you know, parking on another.
In all fairness, Johnny used to park in his alley there and we made him stop. That's, in all fairness.
The back alley,
Yeah,
but that one paved, so.
Right.
after you paid it, yeah.
That's what they did.
I always parked it when it was dirt because I had a few that kept driving down through there to try to kill my Doberman, and then I had the kids out there, and they would run in between the 2 yards, and I didn't want them driving back through there fast, so that's the best way I could figure out how to stop it. One tried to kill my dog, he ate a tire to him back when he did.
Oh, you own the property on the other side of the alley?
Yes, sir.
I know.
I mean, I think it's pretty simple. We'll contact Matt and, you know, it'll be, and he can go down there. He'll probably have a discussion with her first time. That's what we kind of like to do with everything, is to say, hey,
I mean, it ain't gonna be nothing new, but
yeah,
yeah.
it's gonna be nothing new, but, you know, we'll start there. And then Matt will make sure that she knows, hey, you know, this is gonna be ticketed like you blocking any other alley. I mean, you have legitimate concern.
The only thing I'd say, I'm pretty sure, I think he works in this alley, up here on the north end.
On the north end, by my house, yeah, it's a little.
It falls on through, on the other side, on this side, on
Yeah.
Main, I think he pulls in on that end.
What do you got to always
I'm just
say?
saying, if you say something to her, we're gonna say something to the guy on Main too, because if we tell her she can't park in that, then the people on the other side can't park either.
I don't think that's your alley. Your alley's on down there in between him and Gosser, that's the one.
I think it continues.
That stops there at his garage.
I think he turns in here, but I think he park here sometimes too. See what I'm saying?
I see.
I mean, they've got driveways that pull off, but sometimes they're there also.
Oh, you talking about the chimney sweep?
Yeah, we're talking about chimney sweep.
Yeah. Because she parked, he parked, and then, you know, then I got both of them in there, and I couldn't do
Well, I
that.
mean, that's very simple for him. He has a parking spot right there.
Oh, yeah.
But at the time, those trees were over there in that corner, and I didn't know they was mine until I just got it all surveyed. I always thought they was McGuire's trees, so I didn't cut them, but they're coming down, I'm gonna chop them down.
And you were asking friends about the cheating guy.
With that too. Okay.
Have you looked into it?
Yeah, we'll have Matt look into it, and like I said, we gotta start there, Johnny, with giving them fair warning, and, you know, at the end of the day, he's gonna tell them, they're gonna get cited if they block that, and we'll just have to follow the steps from there.
I understand. And on the second question. Does the town got a lot of money?
We got more.
I know, we got a lot of money, that's a little bit of money. We need a little bit of help over at Tri-High. The kids, the school meals, the last superintendent evidently messed up and gave free meals for a while, and there was a lot in the hole. I'm thinking about trying to have a party or something so we can put some money in there so the kids got some free food. Can the town help in that, or is that something that you guys can do? Because, you know, there's an outstanding bill, and I didn't want to bring, you know, into that. I just want to put money into a new thing to make sure they get some food. They get a breakfast and, you know, get lunch.
Get free breakfast right now.
Gotta get free breakfast now.
Every student who gets free breakfast, and during COVID, they got free breakfast and free lunch.
Well,
They still have one in school.
Well, when they did that, the other superintendent evidently left that open.
Yeah.
And then I don't know how they could not get a bill. But it's kind of like a lot of money in this.
She is.
They're trying to pay that out and, yeah, pay it back. I was just thinking about making sure if we put in money that it went to the kids now, not to pay the bill. They can do what they want pay that bill with their money, but, you know.
Well, once they get that money, they're gonna do with it what they want, I can tell you that, so. I mean, I used to work here, so, I'm not trying to be mean, but I just want the kids to eat, because
I understand.
it used to be aggravating for me, because I worked at the school, I never was on free lunch, but. I mean,
Now, you know what free lunch is?
No, they get a free lunch.
No, do you know what the free lunch is? They did.
They get their free lunch, and then if you are a person who pays for your kids' lunch and you get behind, they get a sun butter sandwich and a milk. But there are free lunches. There probably 40% of the kids are on free lunch. Now, if we could get up to 50% of the kids on free lunch, everybody would get free
They
lunch.
said they could probably get, like Newcastle serves all their lunches free.
Yes.
But it's because of the parents not filling out the paperwork.
Yeah.
So, you know, I don't know how to, I don't know how to do none of this.
Yeah, if you wanna know the nitty-gritty details, my mom is the auditor for this area, for the Department of Education, that covers all of that. So, she could tell you the nitty-gritty, up to a certain point, she can't get into.
I understand.
Jody is correct, is that you, basically, Tri-High does not meet, you have to fall below a certain, threshold of family income before, and then once you hit that, then the entire school becomes, not only do you get free lunches, but you also get free, books. There's also different grant programs and everything that open up. It opens up for, the more money for the free reduced school lunch program in the summer food program. But you are right, is that right now it's part of it, not all of it, is because of the lack of reporting of current incomes, you know.
Yeah. So people like to, you know, they don't want to show that they're, you know, not making it, you know, don't have anything.
Yeah.
And no offense to Jerry and his friend there about the housing. I just checked into a house, $225,000, $2,000 a month, just for rent. I mean, just to make your house payments, $2,000 a month. Yeah. And who can afford that? He's saying on a $6,500 budget, you know, income, that's $30,000 that you're throwing, you know, that's half your, shoes, clothes, food.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It would definitely be tight, but I don't even, can we even, I've never had that request before, can we even donate or anything like that to,
I just asked, you guys talk about it?
I don't think we need to.
No, I didn't think that was.
There's already technically set aside.
Yeah.
We necessarily already double.
I mean, if
I don't know if
it's
the
down
utility-
like a fundraiser of some sort.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, I was gonna have a library. That being is pretty good for the scholarship fund.
Yeah. I think that, and I'll speak for myself, I think I speak for the board in general here, is that we would do anything to support, you know, a fundraising activity that we could, but I don't think we can appropriate tax funds as a straight donation into this. We'd all love to help.
We kind of went this way last night, when I was talking to another lady, she said, you all have to put it in an envelope and have your name. I said, I just can't put it. Johnny Harris.
Yeah.
I don't know if my name is that money, yeah.
I wish it felt like you could, like, adopt a child that you help, you know what I mean, like.
Well, you know, I know
It's
that,
kind of weird. I used to donate money to the Knights County School there, and they told me to stop because it's violating some kind of a rule or something.
Well, it probably affects their funding.
Yeah.
Somehow.
It must. That's a weird
thing, so it's.
I just wanted to mail it.
I just, that's like somebody where kids go without.
No, I know.
Somebody will have money, they would have.
well, the food for youth kids, they get their lunch. They get a full lunch. It's the people like me who pay their bills, for their kids' lunches, but if we got behind like $10, they're the ones that have to get the sun butter sandwich. And it used to make me angry, because I knew probably half of those kids in there were free and reduced,
I pay for my lunch, I get behind a little bit, or I forget to pay, then my kids are punished. You know, none of them should be punished. None of them
100%
should.
the kids forget to tell their parents.
Right, yeah.
Ours was, our youngest was coming, it was her thing. Mom, I'm charged. And that's, we still tease her about that. Mom, I'm charged. So, you don't know how much I'm behind 8 meals. So, what do you tell us? I just keep forgetting.
Yeah.
But tomorrow's the day. I can eat something I don't want. But the main meals go to $3.25 a piece.
Yeah,
How much?
$3.25
yeah.
is one meal per child labor drive.
Now, I know my cousin, and he lives in Florida, but he was, getting donations, and he would just go in to the school and say, you know, can I have a list of the kids that are behind, and he would pay those kids, you know.
Well, Mikey Neal used to do it here until he passed.
Yeah.
He'd go over and pick up whatever was left over, he'd pay.
Yeah,
And, you know, I just was
So-
up here.
but just I'm not gonna say anything else.
I stop. You guys got to give me the ball. Let's see what we can do. We might have, fair in, November.
Right.
Well, if there's a fundraiser idea you have that, you know, we can help facilitate that or help, you know, with the resources that we have, we're more than happy to do that.
I mean, it's Christmas tree lights.
I'll have an overthinking meeting.
Like a bucket out for donation. Or whatever.
Yep.
I mean,
We want bottles and taps.
I would throw one.
It'll be solo caps.
Yeah, that is question for you, Jack. It's probably a mad issue, but that backyard car lot that we did next year.
Yes, so that is what I need to follow up with Matt on. He already, well, I he need to add more.
If it was Carroll, there would have to be a fence up and you couldn't park on the sidewalk and oh my gosh, what really get through.
No, we have ordinance on the book, you're exactly right. And they need to be enforced.
And I'm sorry, I didn't say
It doesn't, we have other properties around town that we're enforcing things on, down on Second Street, down on Central. You know, we have to enforce everything equally throughout town, so, now that needs to be followed up with Matt, because I know that he first spoke to them at that would have been the August meeting. Yeah, so we're going on 2 months, that he went down there and first had that conversation with them, and I know that, I don't want to speak for him, but I know that Matt has kind of handled that, like we were talking about with the valley issue, is that we go out there, talk to them first, it's like, we don't want to throw the book at somebody just without giving them fair warning, right? So I will personally follow up with Matt this week, with it to see where he's at with that, and, we need to, look at, we have look at some of our ordinances we have and everything, but I mean, you're exactly right, is that when Carol was there, that's what happened. I know. And he tried. He tried the best he could try. So, no, that's, over the years, that's been an issue, and, we're right there.
Okay, now I got a question. Now, somebody said that if you gravel in between the sidewalk and the road, you can park there in that? Is that a truth? I don't want to get nobody in trouble. I heard that remark and I just wanted to find out.
You can't block the sidewalk, which is an issue that we're having on a different street, here. And, so you can't make the sidewalk your own personal parking spot.
Yeah, because you own from the inside grass to your house.
Yes. So, that is that is another issue that hasn't been, remedied correctly, that needs visited again. So, that needs to be visited again.
I'm sorry. Well, stop,
Yeah. But no, I will personally follow up with Matt this week, and I'll ask him what the progress has been on that, because I think now that we're to the 2-month point of talking of that, and we actually haven't seen any positive change, we've actually seen negative change, at this specific.
Yeah, there's 4 out there on the side of the house now.
Yeah.
And, then the 8 back there in the corner, and then there's 3 more in the garage.
And that's not the only property issue in town.
Oh, and my property was too, I'm sorry, I just couldn't get it done, I've been trying to catch up on the 3 years I've been in the hospital.
We got some things to focus on. I think one thing we can do is maybe, have Julie put together a letter that we send out to our electric bill or something with, the ordinance on property, we got sidewalk issues, we got cars in yards, we've got junk in yards, we got properties that aren't taken care of. We have ordinances for it, and the first thing to do is put everybody on notice at the beginning here, and we did add a little bit of meeting, in regards to fines.
And if we have to take it, if we need to revisit our ordinances and say, hey, maybe there's not enough teeth in this because we have people just paying the fines and continuing to go on the road, maybe we need to put some more teeth into it to actually get people to.
I don't think we're getting enough people up to the point where they're going to court over it.
We've had
1,
2. We've had 2, and that also needs to 2 this year.
So.
No, yeah, that's something we need to be more proactive on, and kind of keeping track of the timeline on when Matt has those discussions and everything. So, but yeah, we will be looking into that as well. Both of you guys' concerns right there. I know you guys.
Well, I appreciate it. It's just a yearly thing for me now. Dang it. Just old. Yeah, it gets old. And I try to be good. I really do. You've been blessed to yourself. Getting the charcoal and the sodium nitrate and the salt out, yeah,
Okay, well, if there's no more public comment, we have a